is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Quick throw now complete to Ross.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. Now Jones. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Brian Burns. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. After that sack, 3rd and long. Tough spot for Jones and the Giants. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he'll be out right at the 35. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check 26, check 26.
They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
2nd down, here's Barkley again. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Throwing Jones. He'll get this complete to Kadarius Toney. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So still 14 yards to go, 2nd down. Back to throw. Jones. The throw for Tony is intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Nobody ever wants the interception on the opening drive to happen, but when it happens in the playoffs, it feels like it's a bigger deal. What a rough start.
And how about these visitors? The defense just went right on the field and seized momentum. You know, almost like they're saying, okay, no one expects us to win this one. Let's go ahead and give them a shock early. Took the ball from the home team and put them in the hole.
Because this crowd, one of the best in the league, especially this time of year, it's going to be tough to take them out of it, but that's a heck of a start. Good starting position for the Panthers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
Speed is the name of the game when it comes to RPOs, and sometimes you can be a little too quick, thus inaccurate, incomplete.
Second and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Darnold down to throw. He's got his tight end. It's Tommy Tremble. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
On 1st down, it's Darnold. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Giants, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
Darnold to throw again. Open man left side. It's the tight end Trimble. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So 1st and goal and an opportunity for our first points in this wild card game. Now it's Darnold. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Off the option, here's McCaffrey. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
From the 5, 3rd and goal. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. They lost 2, and it brings up 4th. This situation in the 4th quarter, you go for it. But here, take the points.
If you go for it here and don't get it, you and I are are missing our plane, and we're going to the post-game press conference to hear him justify it. Because the next thing we'll see is the owner walking in, announcing a firing. There's no way he goes for it here. Get the field goal. It's the first half of the game. You've got time to make it up.
Not a touchdown, obviously, but playoffs, you're on the road. At least you put something on the board.
I would agree with that totally. You're not exactly sending a message to the opposition, but you are letting them know that you came to play.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's a give to Barkley. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Brian Burns able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. 4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Christian McCaffrey deep for Carolina. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Spinning away. Still fighting. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
From the 50, it's Darnold. That caught by Trimble. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards the pickup there.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Damon Harrison, the one on the stop. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Darnold will hand off to McCaffrey. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. There's Trimble, the tight end. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the third down conversion. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good possession, 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Darnold from the gun. Escaping the pressure right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Here's Darnold. That is caught. It's Anderson. Touchdown, Panthers. Robbie Anderson there to make the grab. And the Panthers add on to their lead.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? The turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better. Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. A reminder coming up at the half, as we've done all year. We'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin on the road to Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. And this will be a Giants first down as the tackle made here at the 36. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A handoff to Barkley. And he'll get this up to about the 40.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And he'll throw this one away. I don't think he's out of the pocket, no. Here comes the flag. In the pocket, chucked it away. Flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. Looking to throw. Jones throwing deep for Galladay. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. It's Barkley on the counter. Give the tackle to Hassan Reddick. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Still 9 remaining on second down. Off play action. Jones. And that is incomplete.
I may be an analyst, but I'm also a fan. I love it when people take the big shots downfield, but he was under a lot of duress, and I think that forced the incompletion downfield. Didn't have a real good chance to find his target.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. From the gun, Jones.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
And with decent starting field position, they're maybe only a couple completions away from field goal range.
Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 38. After the interception, here's Darnold. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. On first down, Darnold. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Darnold. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Robert Foster, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. A final shot before the break, Darnold. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had it and dropped it. That is an unforced error there, and it takes away what could have been a touchdown. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
These two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. He will return this from deep in the end zone. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
On 2nd and 12, Darnold got his man complete over the middle. That's Foster. And all the way down to the 5. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. He rifles complete. Caught by Moore. Touchdown. DJ Moore. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Eluding the pressure right. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And nothing there on the return. They've got the football, but they'll have to start this drive at their own 4-yard line. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Jones. Man open, it's Tony. He's got it. And he will have a Giants first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7. Jones finding Tony for a Giants first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
A first down carry for Barkley.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
A quick throw to the left flat, and he's got it. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Well, Charles, what a rookie season he had catching the football, over 1,000 yards on the year, and he comes through there with a nice grab.
And we've seen wide receivers in recent years come in and have big years right away. And you think about Justin Jefferson in 2020, 1,400 yards and huge impact on his team and on the league. This guy, he's following his footsteps as an impact guy here in year 1.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Looking to throw. Jones. Oh, Jones has just thrown his 3rd interception. Picked off at the 19. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. And right about now, you start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe points aren't going to happen for us in this game.
Well, it's a thought that is worth having because so far in this game, this defense has not just had the upper hand. They've appeared to be a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps, to everything they've done. They've had an answer for everything this offense has thrown at them.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Well, listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he saw he had a receiver in the area. He just put it well over his head, out of harm's way.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he stopped immediately there.
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And they'll try the air now with Darnold. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you, and that may have been what happened there.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
1 quarter remains in this NFC wild card matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. In need of only about the length of the football here on second down. Operating from the gun, Jones going deep downfield for Ross. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. But now it's third down.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
The Giants on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They're looking at third and a few inches. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's taken down inside the 30. 53 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
That catch good for only a couple. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
8 yards to go on second down.
From the gun, Jones. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Brian Burns in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
After that sack, 3rd and long. Tough spot for Jones and the Giants.
Jones now throwing on 3rd and long. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman.
And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
He finds an opening past the 40, and he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, that'll help the old passing stats. Remember, it was a pop pass, so it's not a wide receiver run there, Charles.
Well, I like the way that you scored it, and that's exactly how it goes into the books. But remember, he's had success throwing the ball the standard way in this game. And here, this little tap pass, it goes for good yardage, a little something extra in his repertoire.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on 1st down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
Darnold from the red zone now. Flushed out right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
Hey, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Back to throw, Darnold. He's going to go up top for the end zone. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Robert Foster there to make the grab.
And the Panthers continue to pull the playoff surprise as they lead big here on the road.
This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead opens up now to 22 points.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now this time he'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Justin Burris. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Instead of running, Darnold's going to throw this thing. He gets this out to Foster on the right side.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
The Panthers season will press on as we say so long.